And at this point, it doesn't matter what you say because it's about to happen anyway.
Listen to me now. All right, listen. It's a lot of things going on in this crazy society, this world, and I honestly don't even know where to start. But you know what? I said I'm just gonna hit record today, baby, because I'm pretty sure I got something to say. Something to say, baby. However, like, I'm gonna definitely start here and talk about how I just recently went to a networking event, just really like on some randomness, and had a really good time. I feel like my city has been missing opportunities and events of that nature, and I really met some amazing people. Like, it was pretty cool, I must say. And I definitely went home feeling good about myself and all the connections that I made. Yeah, one thing I will say, like, networking is underrated. And not only is networking underrated, a lot of times people don't know how to. And then in addition to that, people don't know how to build rapport, like build relationships. And then from there, establish collaborations and working together. Like, I instantly was like, I ran into several hairstylists. I'm like, look, sis, I can send you clients. Like, we can do this, we can do that. I'm working on this. So if you want to do this in your field and you help me do this in my field, like, sis, let's come up, because ain't no reason why we, shouldn't continue to be leveling up. Like, this whole journey is, for level up for me, is just like, it's a real thing. And you constantly have to be working at it. And this is like a self note, me talking to myself. I definitely have to continue to keep that in the forefront. So listen, we're going to keep this going and move into like a little bit more deeper conversation about networking and building rapport, because I feel like that is one skill that I have developed over the last 13 years that has really made a huge difference in literally everything, like my entire life. And it's really interesting that it has come about that way, because I used to be the most shy person ever. Like, growing up, my mom was really outspoken. She would speak to everybody. She would compliment people. She would she could hold an hour conversation with a stranger if she wanted to. And I would be that kid that was like standing behind her legs, hiding and like peeking around to be like, I don't know this stranger, And it's pretty interesting too, because growing up, we are actually conditioned to not talk to strangers, right? To be very careful, very aware, because of things that happen to children, right? But at the end of the day, when you become an adult, it's not necessarily a good thing, because strangers have everything you need, in a sense of the question where, let's just say, Grant Cardone says, who's got my money, right? People are your customers. And so if you don't develop the networking skill to be able to talk to people, interact, what they say, the name of the book that's really popular, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like, how else do you move around in society, whether it be finding a job, finding a mate, finding a business partner, finding someone to help you, whatever, like to hire for random jobs that you may need done, like anything, you typically have to connect with strangers or people that you don't know, unless you have a family member or whatever, right? I mean, literally, you can compliment somebody and it can lead into a entire conversation where that person tells you everything about their life, what happened yesterday and last week, and you didn't even ask. But it opens people up, and you start to find out who they are and like what they are capable of and how you can be beneficial to them and vice versa. So it's pretty crazy that I'm talking about this topic because in between me recording, my sister calls and we're having a conversation about how she wants me to connect with this realtor that she met. And she was telling me all these cool things about how the girl, basically lives her life and her income and different things like that. And she was like, you know what? It's really crazy that I sat down and had a conversation with her and learned more about her because I've known her my whole life and I never knew or never had a conversation with her. And I'm like, how does that even work? On one aspect, I get it, right? But I asked her, I'm like, so what did you guys do? Like, if you've known her your whole life, did you just do like highs and buys or like, short conversations or short little, chats and then going about your way? And she was like, yeah, basically. And I'm like, man, like when you really think about that, that sounds really weird to know somebody like, or not really know anybody, but have seen them technically your whole life and never had a conversation with them. Like that person could be your soulmate. That person could be, and I don't say soulmate like most people would think, because you could have soulmates that are totally platonic. That could be female, that could be male. That could be your next major, business connection. That could be it could be your next breakthrough for anything. But again, we typically don't think of it in that way because we're taught like, don't talk to strangers. So I just find it really interesting and very key, very important. Of course, we still have to move with a sense of caution, learning how to read energy, read the room. After you exchange a few words, it's not that hard if you've developed it rather to, know if that person is somebody you want to continue to learn more about. I think by nature, we kind of know. You feel the vibes. So anyways, I like this topic. It's one of my favorites. Go out and network. Not only do you network and connect with people, you build a rapport. That means to stay in touch. That means communicate often. That means find a way to stay in front of them. Okay. And this is like, talking about different aspects, whether it just be personal or business or whatever. It's you got to stay in touch. It's got to be a thing that you do. So anyways, I think I'm going to cut it short here. Networking is key. Building relationships are even better. And as always, this is yours truly, the real Jeanna Petty, just bringing you jewels that help you constantly level up. Okay? So as you all may know, we always leave with this famous J-Bo quote. And it simply goes, life is good. People are kind. Love with your heart. Think with your mind. Write it down. Live your dreams. Have faith and believe it's true. All right. And I am signing out. See you on the next episode.